Member for Surrey Fleetwood continues debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise once again, Mr. Speaker. I have support on both sides of the House. That's good to know. Mr. Speaker, I rise once again in support of the motion to refer Bill 9 to a committee called the Select Standing Committee on Finance, Mr. Speaker. And I do so, Mr. Speaker, because people of British Columbia have a lot of outstanding questions when we talk about the implementation of HST. And, Madam Speaker, during the last election, the BC Liberal promised to the people of British Columbia that they will not impose the HST. That was the promise made by this government to the people of British Columbia. And not only that, Madam Speaker, as I said earlier, they gave that commitment in writing to the Canadian Restaurant and Food Services Association, and they signed that letter, Madam Speaker. They gave that commitment, Madam Speaker, in writing to the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, and they signed that letter as well. Madam Speaker, that was before the election, but as soon as the elections were over, Madam Speaker, they dropped the bombshell of betrayal on the people of British Columbia by just doing completely the opposite to that, Madam Speaker. Just 6 weeks after the election, they announced the implementation of HST. Just 6 weeks after the election, Madam Speaker. And now we found, just 3 days after the election, there were actually negotiations going on between the government of British Columbia and the federal government, Madam Speaker. And that's why it's very important. That's why it's very important that we send this matter to the committee so that we can find out the truth as to what went on. Madam Speaker, clearly this government was not honest with the people of British Columbia before the election, and they failed to tell the truth before the election, Madam Speaker, when it comes to HST. And that's why it's very important to refer this matter to the committee, Madam Speaker, so that we can find out what the reality was, Madam Speaker. 85% people of British Columbia, 85% people of British Columbia don't support HST. 85, Madam Speaker, and that's a huge majority, Madam Speaker, and they deserve to be heard. And that's why it's very important for us to send this matter to a committee so that we can go out. The committee can go out and listen to the people of British Columbia from all walks of life, Madam Speaker. And that's why it's very important. And, Madam Speaker, it is known that this HST tax, Madam Speaker, is unfair. It's unfair, and that's why it's very important that we refer this matter to a committee, Madam Speaker, so that the people of British Columbia can come and provide their feedback to this government so that they can find out how it's going to hurt the average person in British Columbia. Madam Speaker, the reality is this: the HST is going to transfer $1.9 billion in taxes from big businesses to the people of British Columbia. $1.9 billion is going to be transferred from big businesses to the people of British Columbia. In other words, Madam Speaker, the big business will pay less and the people of British Columbia will pay more. And Madam Speaker, during the last 9 years, since this government has been in power, tax cut after tax cut after tax cut to big businesses has been going on, Madam Speaker. And subsidy after subsidy, Madam Speaker, to corporations. Where will it end, Madam Speaker? And when we talk about the minimum wage, they have constantly refused to raise the minimum wage, Madam Speaker. And that's why it's very important that we refer this matter to a committee so that we can find answers to the people of British Columbia asking at this point in time, Madam Speaker. And it's very clear, Madam Speaker, that HST is going to drive the cost of many, many things people use almost every day up. It's a real thing, Madam Speaker. And I don't understand until today, the Minister of Finance failed to tell us even one thing, where the cost will go up. Failed to mention one figure of any item where he said specifically the cost of that thing will go up by so many dollars. He failed to do that. And that's why it's very important that we refer this matter to a committee, Madam Speaker, so that we can find out exactly what will it mean to the people of British Columbia. It's going to raise the cost of many things, Madam Speaker, up once the HST is implemented, and the list is very long, Madam Speaker. The restaurant meals will go up, Madam Speaker. Many groceries, such as snack food and other prepared food like salad, sandwiches, heated food, Madam Speaker, it will go up. The cost of school supplies will go up. The cost of services such as taxi will go up. The cost of live theatre, movie tickets, Madam Speaker, amusement parks, Madam Speaker, and compound fee, museum admission fee, whale watching tours, that will all go up, Madam Speaker. And the cost for accounting services, Madam Speaker, will go up. The cost for veterinarian care will go up. The cost for many other professional services like architects, real estate agents will go up with HST. The cost for yoga classes, Madam Speaker, will go up. People go out to get healthy and probably save cost to the province. And the cost for yoga classes, dance, cooking classes, and martial art will go up, Madam Speaker. The cost for membership fee for clubs and gyms and players will go up for many teams and supports, Madam Speaker. So the cost of haircut will go up, and the list goes on, Madam Speaker. And this government has failed to tell us how much more will it cost to the people of British Columbia for those things. And the list is very long, Madam Speaker, and that's why it's very important to send this matter, to refer this matter to a committee so that we can find out exactly where the cost will go up and how much will it go up when we implement the HST. And Madam Speaker, I have heard from the other side time and again that a lot of businesses are supporting the HST. But I have heard the other side of the story. There are a lot of businesses out there who does not support the HST. It will actually hurt a lot of small business people, Madam Speaker. The restaurant industry and food service industry is one of them, Madam Speaker. The construction industry and the real estate industry will be hurt by this. The tourism industry will be hurt. The taxi industry will be hurt negatively. Veterinarians will make less. Thousands of people of British Columbia will lose jobs as a result of HST, Madam Speaker, in the restaurant industry alone. The restaurant industry alone, Madam Speaker, excuse me. The restaurant industry alone, Madam Speaker, forecasts that HST will cost them up to 12,000 jobs. 12,000 jobs alone, Madam Speaker, to the restaurant industry, Madam Speaker. The tourism industry, Madam Speaker, predict that it will cost them up to 10,000 jobs. 10,000 jobs to them, Madam Speaker. So there are a lot of businesses which will be impacted negatively, Madam Speaker. The list goes on. The Council of Tourism Association of BC, they are opposed to it. The BC Care Providers Association is opposed to it. The Federation of Community Social Services of BC is opposed to HST. The Rental Owner and Manager Society of BC is opposed to it. The Union of BC Indian Chiefs, they are opposed to it. And there are many other businesses, Madam Speaker, opposed to HST. And the reality, Madam Speaker, is there are no winners. There are no winners among us, among the people of British Columbia. The only one group of winners if we implement the HST are the people who are the friends of the Liberal government, Madam Speaker, the big corporations and rich people, Madam Speaker, and their friends. So, Madam Speaker, my time is up, and I would like to probably conclude my comments by saying that I fully support that we should send Bill 9 to the committee, because there are a lot of outstanding questions which the people of British Columbia are asking. So I support the motion because HST is the single most powerful bombshell of betrayal thrown on the people of British Columbia during the election and after the election. I support this motion, Madam Speaker, because BC Liberals failed to tell the truth to the people of British Columbia about the HST during the election when they said they will not impose HST. I support this motion, Madam Speaker, because HST is an unfair tax hike on the people of British Columbia. It will transfer $1.9 billion in taxes from big corporations to the people of British Columbia. I support this motion, Madam Speaker, because HST will hurt a lot of small businesses in the province of British Columbia, and it will cost thousands of jobs to the people of British Columbia. I support this motion, Madam Speaker, because the people of Surrey-Fleetwood from all walks of life have been calling and sending me emails to stop HST, and that's why it's very important for us to send this matter to a committee. And I support this motion, Madam Speaker, because all the supporting arguments I have heard are not very convincing as of today. Or it's one-sided information, Madam Speaker, and people of British Columbia need to tell the truth. So, Madam Speaker, I will conclude my comments by saying that I fully support the motion. That's very important for this House to refer this matter to a committee so that the committee can go out and find the facts and the truth and the reality, and the people of British Columbia can make a very important decision about this. Thank you, Madam Speaker.